hold on tight. It's time again for the ride of your life at Capital Ford. And the ride of your life begins now with employee pricing for everyone on new Fords. You pay what Ford employees pay. Employee pricing means buy a new 2025 Ford F-150 for just $599 a month. Or buy a new 2025 Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, only $499 a month during our Ride of Your Life event at Capital Ford in Santa Fe.
All right, welcome back. I don't know when we'll air this, Eric, but it has to get out there. Ryan Tamori along with Eric Moulton. I'm very, very happy to have this next guest on. You probably know him, as offensive coordinator of Florida, mulling it over on ESPN, but now he's at UNLV as the head coach, Mr. Dan Mullen. Coach, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's fun to be back. Coaching, having a great time.
I think you've probably gotten this 1,000 times, and I've said that 1,000 times today in the last 2 days. And I think it's a simple answer, but why UNLV?
Yeah, when I look at coaching, I've spent 9 years at Mississippi State and 4 at Florida, doing TV the last 3 years. It was kind of a situation where it had to be a great fit for me to come back to coach. And I was loving TV. I had a great really enjoyed doing it. And I had to sit down and I started to look at different things, like what would interest me to come back. And I got a lot of different calls, and, I just kind of be like, okay, let me see if let me find a way to be excited about this job, or let's try to talk myself into what's good about it. And I just couldn't get there. And so I as I kind of put it together, what was important, I wanted an opportunity at a school that could win championships. Obviously, at UNLV, we're a school that was a game away from the college football playoff last year, right? Playing in the Mountain West title game. So, it's in place. We're not a rebuild. We're right there. We're right there where we could go have the opportunity to go win championships. Second, I didn't want to have to build from scratch with facilities, with everything else, and you start our stadium playing in Allegiant Stadium, have the best stadium in college football. So that's check. Don't have to worry about that. 2, you go to the Fertitta Football Complex on campus. We have better facilities than places I coached in the SEC and, at some of those places. So when you're looking at the facilities, I didn't have to come in and have to, build. We weren't a have not, I didn't have to come in and build everything all the way up from scratch. It was already in place. So I wanted something that was that way, that would just needed somebody to help take it to the next level as a program. And then finally, I have younger kids. My son's going to be a sophomore in high school next year. My daughter's 8th grader. The wife had to be somewhere where I wanted my kids to grow up, go to school, and have the family live. And over the last couple of years, coming out to Las Vegas to, play golf, some friends that live in the city to come out and spend time, and you get off the strip and you start, like I'd only ever been a lot of people come to Vegas. Right. They never even leave the strip. They go from the airport to the strip to the airport home. To get around the city and go to all the other places and really learn about the city and what a great place it is. Kind of check that box. And I think so when, Harp called me, Eric Harper, our AD called, and he said, hey, would you be interested in talking to me about the job? And I happened to be in town for the College Football Hall of Fame. Alex Smith was being inducted this year. I said, sure. I think he was so shocked. I even said, yeah, I'll talk to you even about it. And we got together and talked. And because I've been able to see all those things over the last couple of years of things in place. And, it felt right. So it kind of checked every box. And then in the feeling, it felt right. And I've been happy every day since I got here.
So I'm going to tell you a story very, very quickly, and I'm going to try to make this different than anything else hopefully you've done today.
All right.
I'm from Albuquerque, and then the quick the airport to the strip. My family's from New Jersey, and everybody goes to New York City, and I'm like, they don't know what New Jersey's like. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up after that. So I grew up. I'm a diehard New York Football Giants fan. And then got
what part of Jersey?
Central Jersey, New Brunswick, South River.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I was born in Philly, so I was a lifeguard down the Jersey Shore.
There you go. That's right.
Seattle City Beach Patrol down Cape May County, way south. You're probably more like Bayonne. Like, were you like you're up Norwich, Point Pleasant?
I know. So as a kid, I used to go to Seaside Heights and Point Pleasant.
There you go.
So yeah,
I called it out.
Yeah, and I forgot you were from Philly. I knew that, or that area. No, my dad got his master's at Rutgers in that area. So yeah. Okay. I'll make this quick. I'm sorry, Coach.
You're great.
So I grew up I'm a diehard New York Football Giants fan. I became one, but I graduated high school in 2005, and we were big. I always reference two of my buddies, my buddy Mike, my buddy Steven. We were in high school at the time, but we loved Lobo football, and we all knew we were going to UNM, and we would buy tickets and then sneak behind the bench. We've had Dontrell Moore on our show. I'm sure these names ring a bell. You know Rocky Long. And UNM went into Salt Lake City. And I'm not a homer on this show, but UNM went into Salt Lake City. And I think Urban Meyer's only lost.
It was our first year.
Yeah. UNM went in there, and we were like, our jaws dropped because you guys were awesome. Alex Smith was awesome. For me, and I know you were on the other end of it. Do you remember anything about that game and experience with Rocky Long?
Absolutely. We only lost 2 games. You know, as a coach, you remember your losses more than wins. We lost on the last play of the game at Texas A&M, and we lost to that New Mexico team. Rocky Long had a great team. I think we set a conference record for kickoff returns, which is never good that you're returning kickoffs that much, but we hit a couple long kickoff returns, and I was the kickoff return coach too. So we had a pretty good deal with kickoff returns. But you guys were running jet sweeps up and down. We just couldn't fit. We didn't do it well. He was running all of the Rocky Long, blitzing all over the place from every different direction. It was wild, and it kind of changed some things we did. We spent a lot of time that off season prepping for that game and making sure, because like anybody, if everyone's going to look, and we said we never lost much when we were at Utah, but so you look at the teams that beat them, what did they do to beat them? So we wanted to make sure we corrected every single mistake. So we studied a lot of that game to get things fixed moving forward. And we did. We came down to New Mexico. Yep. We came down to Albuquerque and took care of business the next year.
On a Friday night.
It was a Friday night. I think it's 28-7. It still wasn't.
It was 28-7.
Coach, we're crazy coaches, but it was. We actually put in like split back veer, learn some option stuff that to just mess with the Rocky Long defense. And but it was a big game. I remember going down there on Friday night.
We were still in high school. That was our senior high school. We couldn't wait for that game. I love the history of stuff. That's my background, and I became a journalist. And I just remember Alex Smith in that game. We were sitting behind the Lobo bench, and it was just like there were more expletives thrown around. And me and my 2 friends were like, "This guy is." And we knew who Alex Smith was, and we were just like, this guy is picking us apart, and it was driving us nuts. So I appreciate you going down that memory lane with that. And, I thought Alex was a, really good quarterback. I'm sure you get it a lot, but can you speak to his time at Utah?
I mean, he was pretty special, in that way of his development. Taught me a lot as a coach. I mean, he's one of the smartest guys I've ever been around. And, both on and off the field. Obviously, I mean, like he graduated Utah in 2 years.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, one of the smartest guys, like human beings I've ever been around. But a lot of times when you're guys like that doesn't translate onto the field. His did onto the field, so he could see things and process things and understand things and learn things. It in some ways spoiled me as a coach, because you get used to coaching a guy. You say something once, and it's done. Like, I mean, you don't have to repeat it ever. Like, I mean, it's like, hey, remember 4 weeks ago we made this check? Yep. Let's do that. Okay, good. Move on. Next thing. It kind of spoiled you, but such a special player, such a great talent, such a great human being too. Alex and I really close, had such a great time together at Utah. Still great friends to this day. And I will say that 2004 Utah team, could be the most fun year I've ever had coaching.
I want to eventually get to UNLV, but you guys, again,
that was a great team. That was a special team.
You guys went into Tempe and I thought, you've been in the media, so you can have this conversation. It's like, oh, you got Pittsburgh. Okay. And I'm a Big East at the time, Big East guy, but you guys picked them apart.
Yeah. I think someone told me there's only, like, modern college football history, only 2 teams have ever won every game by 17 points or more. And it was like, I think it's 95 Nebraska and 2004 Utah. I would have loved to seen that team in today's world. I would have loved give a 4-team playoff that year. with the 4 undefeateds. I think we might have been able to beat SC and win that national title.
I'm so glad we were able to sit down and talk about that. I love it. You got somebody like, I'm thinking about the guys you coached at Florida, and I'm sure you hear it a lot, and you're like, no, I want to talk about UNLV. But somebody like Jet Thomas, what have you learned about him?
Well, you know what I said. Talk one thing about the character. He had everyone calling him, trying to, I guess poach, or whatever it is they call it off the roster. But he's a guy that is the top returning rusher to the league. He's a guy that is not a big guy, but plays physical, can run between the tackles, but has speed in the open field, make you miss ability. Coming back, and a guy like him that, I love as in today's world, it's a whole new world, but you still love the old school throwbacks. Like, hey, coach, UNLV believed in me. I believe in UNLV. I think you can help take us to that next step. And I want to finish what I started. You don't hear that as much anymore.
You don't.
And you know what? So I love from that day, I love everything about what he's brought to the table for our football team. And, and as an offensive guy, it's fun to have a weapon that I can move around all over the place. You're going to see him all over the field to try to create matchup problems for defense, and see if people can match up and figure out where he is. And right. And it's like, where's Waldo? You got better find him out there because I get the ball in his hands. He can score when he touches it.
I will throw it over to him. I'm going to ask one more question about Jake Pope. I asked him, I'm looking at his resume and I'm like, okay, Tuscaloosa, Athens, and then he's at UNLV. And I'm thinking, I wonder what Dan Mullen has to do with that. He's been on that kind of that level. What's special about him? He brings a lot of energy and confidence.
I think one of the things that as I built our roster, I've spent the last 20 years in the SEC. That's the football I know. And, fortunately, a guy like Jake Pope, someone's like, hey, Jake Pope's in the portal. Good. I just picked up my phone. I recruited him out of high school. Took a visit with us when I was in Florida. So it's pretty easy when I'm like, hey, Jake, I need you to come play for me. So that's you messed up. You didn't come play for me when I was in Florida. So I need you to come play for me now. No, but I think a lot of the selling point for the guys, and they're looking about the development and things is, hey, where I'm at my career in a bunch of our guys, like some guys that came over from SEC schools. Hey, we had some success, but not the level I needed, where I want to be at this point in my career. A lot of talent. Coach, I know you develop players. I know you develop teams that win. You win. I've had relationships with, Jake's one of the guys, but a lot of the different guys want you to come be a part of it all out here and help us build something special. And so I think those guys, the attitude and the mindset of a lot of the players coming in has been that way of, hey, coach, we want to come. We already have a little bit of relationship and trust with you. We know your background, your experience, and how you develop players. And I think we can do something special here at UNLV. And I think that excitement around the players created the buy-in and has created the buy-in in our locker room and in our practices and within our whole program.
Coach, I want to stay on the offensive side of the ball. I know that you've kind of been deemed, or it's been thrown around, that you're somewhat of a quarterback whisperer.
Yes.
Dak Prescott, Tim Tebow.
We'll keep going.
Two
Keep
new
Alex,
guys
man.
that are Alex Smith. Other guys that are
Kyle Trask.
recruits coming in.
Nick Fitzgerald.
Oh, keep going.
Keep going.
Kyle Trask.
Chris Ralph.
Yep.
At Mississippi State. And Felipe Franks was at Florida. Let's see. I had Chris Leak at Florida.
Who was your starter in 06? And then you had a name that I don't need to mention, backup.
Who? Cam Newton.
Oh, him too.
Oh,
Cam Newton was Tebow's backup at Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
that was
right.
a pretty
That's
good quarterback
right,
room,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterback room, Anthony Calandra from Virginia.
Yeah. And
Alex Orji from Michigan.
Yeah.
Talk about the QB battle. Are you leaning one way or another?
No.
Two different styles of
very
quarterback
different
play.
Very different style players. But if you look at my quarterbacks through the years, if I lined them all up, like there's no way these guys had success in running the same system. But the system and the coach's job is to put guys in positions to do what they do well. Right? I don't care if we lead the league in rushing or we lead the league in passing. What can our guys do? Let's follow it through, right? I mean, you could take – I had Nick Fitzgerald's the SEC's all-time leading rusher as a quarterback, played for me at Mississippi State. Kyle Trask at Florida, he couldn't run out of sight in a day. I mean, if he started the beginning of media days, he wouldn't even be down to the Wynn Hotel yet, if he left here this morning. But he can throw it. And so it's putting guys in position. So, I look at both those guys, competitors, winners, have experience. Alex Orji, won a national title at Michigan. Calandra Landry, kind of a special make things happen player, electric guy out there on the field. And so to me, I look at it, it'll be a while till we figure out what direction we're going to go with those guys. I wouldn't be shocked if they both play at different times during the season, but they're to learn in the system still, right? And so, you know, well, obviously, if Anthony's the quarterback, will probably lean one way a little bit more than if Alex, the quarterback, will lean a little bit more the other way in what we do with some of the schemes. Like I already know, I'm not going to share all the specifics. There's things that Alex will run certain things that Alex runs really well, Anthony struggles with, and vice versa. So like, hey, if we do say, if whoever the starter is, I'm not going to put them in a position to ask them to do things they don't do well. We'll put them in a position to do things. We'll highlight their strengths. And, you know, both of them came in, want to be coached, want to be developed. As you said, I'm very fortunate. I've coached some really good quarterbacks throughout the years. And you know, and these guys fit that mold, and they're learning, growing, and developing, and they want to maximize themselves as quarterbacks. And so it's will be a pretty good battle going into fall camp. Now they've learned spring, everyone's just learning the offense. You know, I mean, you kind of you had some OTAs and walkthroughs, and you're learning a little bit more. And now coming in, even through the first scrimmage and 10 days of fall camp, I consider that still learning. After that, then hey, you better know it by now, because now you're shifting more towards getting ready for the season, and we'll see who the guy is.
We have to let you go, but you spent 15 minutes with us today. Thank you so much.
Great to be with you guys.
UNLV head football coach Dan Mullen. Thank you very much.
Great to be with you guys. Have a great day.